Hi. Hey, the idiots are at it again. Legality is not the defining factor. Steam's censorship campaign details that it seeks removal of games whether legal or not. Now, there's only one instance of a game that I've seen that was illegal, and we've talked about that before. It was the Guy game, which the game actually featured women stripping down and showing their bodies to people who get correct answers to this quiz thing that kind of pops up as a prompt. It turns out that one of the models, heavy quotations, was 17 at the time of filming, which made her illegal and made the game actually a form of child pornography. So it was one of those things where this game was illegal to have on the shelves. The game was removed from shelves. People were sued over it, what have you. That's the only case of an illegal game that I've seen. Now, you have a bunch of people that are out there that are trying to make video games illegal because they might not like what's in it. Women in scantily clad clothing, instances of sexual titillation, things like that. That's the reason why they want these things taken out. It has nothing to do with like obscenities or any of that stuff. It's a fight for trying to create circumstances where things that are too spicy needs to be taken away. But it works under this weird idea that the average age of gamers is only 10 years old. And some of them are 14, and some of them 15, whatever. The gamers that grew up with a lot of that older stuff back in the like 80s and 90s are now my age. They're in their mid to late 40s. They're buying the majority of these games. You have to remember, we're trying to push for games to be $80 to $90 or whatever. Who's buying these games? It's not parents that are like buying all these games or whatever. Apparently the demographic has aged up to the point where they have disposable income to do that. But you have people that exist here that think that you are unable to consume this content because you are a child to them and you are incapable of understanding the severity of certain themes or the sexual nature of certain things or whatever. Again, these are people that are miserable and they want to make your lives miserable. That's really what it is. So a battle has been raging between video game storefronts, payment processors, and Australian activist group Collective Shout. The group initially targeted games focused on rape and incest. Imagine being a game journalist working for a publication that you can't write these things that exist. These are things that are there. They're horrible things, mind you. Horrible things in horrible contexts. But you are so chicken-hearted that you cannot write that with your full chest. Imagine that. And look at the society you're trying to create in doing this. The soft society that's easily plundered by other societies. We want to weaken you to the point where you are not able to even defend yourself. So we can import a bunch of assholes that are basically going to plunder you and loot you and plunder your women and do all those unspeakable things you're too chicken shit to say. Imagine that. It's wild to me. Oh God, sissies. Sissies, a society of sissies. Contacting Visa and MasterCard, enforcing online stores like Steam and itch.io to delist dozens of adult games. However, the campaign has extended further, with developers arguing that the ban is harming queer creators. Even if their games are within the confines of the law, it could be a part of a wider plot overseen by Project 2025's leading voices to ban pornography from video games and the wider internet. Now, I don't think the issue is conservatives. I think there is a fringe group on the edges of both sides of the political spectrum that are trying to control people. You're trying to control people and trying to control what they can say. And a means to basically lord over them. This is your last chance to do it. Apparently, the entirety of the world is done with your bullshit. They're tired of you and they don't want anything to do with the things that you're pushing. They're actively fighting and protesting against the things being placed out there by both fringe sides of the political spectrum. The people in the middle are tired. They're done. And here you are in this last push trying to get yourself over because cancel culture isn't working anymore. Political browbeating isn't working anymore. This whole moral majority bullshit isn't working anymore. And the average person is over it, and they want to live their lives. They want to be able to say what they want to say. They want to be able to play what they want to play. They want to be able to do what they want to do. They want to be able to exist. They are tired. COVID has ruined us for like a bunch of people bullying people into some form of compliance. And everything that has happened after that, cancel culture, the whole Me Too movement, all this BLM, all this other shit. People in the center are tired and they are done with your shit. And this is the last little push that is left, because they think that if they get this through or try to get this over on people, that people are going to continue being under the thumb of fringe assholes. And it's just not happening. You could do this if you want. You could try to push for this if you want. People will fight you. They will fight you in the streets. They will fight you on the forums. They will fight you on websites. They will fight you. They will not stop. You are done. This is over. But you have to push this, and you have to pit everybody against each other so you can continue to push bullshit on people's behalf. And it's not happening anymore. It's just not gonna work anymore. If you were smart, you would basically just turn tail and go and create your perfect society. Gather all your friends, go to a deserted island and implement these things and go live your life. But you won't do that because you know it doesn't work, and you know people are interested in that. You really aren't. You really are not. And it's funny. It's just watching the futileness of this. Go live your life in your little communes and your HOAs. Go Karen somewhere else. But you won't, because you think that this is going to cause some form of change. You got drunk off of a couple of wins, and you think that this is going to be an easy fight. But we've been down this road before. We've seen how this goes. It does not end well for you. It really doesn't. In a new interview, Caitlin Roper, campaigns manager at Collective Shout, revealed that legality is not the defining factor in the games that it targets, stating that the men who are defending the games perpetuate crimes of violence against women. Now you're making up excuses. You don't like the fact that you're getting pushback on your little Karen tirade. That's all it is. And again, all they do is try to get people canceled and get their monetary stuff taken away and try to get them deplatformed. Speaking in an interview at Tweaktown, Roper states that the group objection is to content that glorifies sexualized violence against women and children, adding a clear many of the men defending their rape games perpetuate crimes of violence against women because they're doing it to us right now. Sure, lady. Sure. Roper states that while many of the games the company initially targeted would be illegal in Australia, the organization does not view legality as the defining factor. Our work focuses on combating the sexual objectification and exploitation of women and girls, so we focus our energy there, says Roper. That said, we call out this objectification and abusive depictions of women and girls even when they are not legal. Legality is not the defining factor. It is about documented evidence of harm to women and girls. When asked about the damage Collective Shout was causing to developers who have released their games within the confines of the law, Roper stated that if Steam and HIO had been moderating their platforms as they should have, there would have been no need to temporarily delist games to ensure they're not in violation of their policies. Our objection has always been clearly stated: rape, incest, and child sexual abuse. Now, if you were to basically ban that media from Australia specifically, and just okay, fine, we'll play your game, and then turn around and take all of the media that they would enjoy and ban that too. You want to ruin this for men? We're going to ruin this for everybody. And I want them to point directly at Collective Shout for this. You are the cause of all of people's misery. So I want people's rage to be taken out on you. I want people to look at that situation and be like, you're the reason why you ruined this for everybody. And I want them to verbally confront these people and shut their shit down. I'm taking a very Sephiroth approach to this. What do you love? What do you love? I'll give you despair. It's only fair for me to basically take everything you love away from you, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take everybody else's things. I would basically put them in a situation where, oh, Collective Shout, let's ban your IP. You shouldn't be able to go on anything. Fine. You find everything to be sexual assault, rape, or like some form of child pedophilia. So let's do you one solid. Let's take everything. We'll ban your IP. We'll ban your internet access. We'll do all that other stuff. We'll make it so that you can never access the internet again. So none of that stuff that you find offensive will ever darken your doorstep again. And if we did that, hypothetically, if we did that, and they can't access the internet, they can't access media, they can't look at any of that stuff, maybe they'll be happy. Maybe for once in their miserable little lives, they'll actually be happy. Let's take them out of the equation. It's an interesting proposition. I know it will never get done, but it's an interesting proposition. Let's take them out of the equation for a second. Let's actually remove them from everything. Because I think that when a miserable person wants to continue to be miserable, they don't want to improve their lives, they don't want to add anything of value or substance to anything. If they want to exist in that fashion, I think it's only right for them to lose all of their accesses and all of their privileges. And I think they should dwell and probably stew in their own juices. But let me know what you think on that. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining me for this. See you next boss fight. Take care.